Hey, this is Mike from Maker Moose. Today's video, I thought I'd bring out my embossing folders, show you how I store them, how I label them, and also some of my favorite ones. So I have a basket here, a plastic basket, just with all my embossing folders, whether they're ever been used or not. So any new ones I still have in the packaging here. And then any of the ones that I've opened, I immediately go and label. So one thing I've really liked about embossing folders lately is a lot of the companies are putting their names on them now, so I don't have to make this really small and say Crafter's Companion Daisy Meadow. I just have to put Daisy Meadow. Same with this, Tim Holtz Sizzix, Snowfall / Speckles. Even though it's very hard to read, it is there. My favorite embossing folders lately have been from Spellbinders. This is a smaller one. I think it's an older one. This is called Head in the Clouds. This, let me grab. I do have a box of backgrounds or embossed paper that I keep here. So if I do one embossing folder, I usually try and do a few. So let me show you some of the ones I have here. So the Head in the Clouds, this one here. I have a light blue somewhere. Might not be this pile. Sorry, there we go. This is it here. It's a very cartoonish looking cloud. I like the effect. Obviously a 3D effect. It's a 3D embossing folder. But this is really great. I love this for Lawn Fawn's Quitter stamps. Yeah, I really like Spellbinders. The main reason I like the Spellbinders folders is the newer ones come in a much larger size here. So like this is Puff Dotty. Again, they've got the company name as well as the product label there. I still like to know what the name of the product is in case someone asks me. But you can see this is a A2 card front. If I put this in the small corner down here, you can see how much more room there is. So you could make, I think they're 5x7. Let me grab my ruler. Oh no, they're way larger than I thought. Usable area is about 8.5 by 5.5. So you could actually do. Oh, I didn't even realize that. You could do one sheet, cut it in half, and have two A2 panels. I probably wouldn't do that. I do this one obviously moved a little bit, but I do try and center them so they have equal pattern on top, bottom, and side to side. You can see this one moved just slightly. It's but I did even out the top and bottom there. They're half circles. But I really like these Spellbinders large ones. This one I've actually never used. This one came with my Sizzix Big Shot. It is a massive folder. I think it does a full 8.5 by 11. I've never used it, even though I like the dotted ones. I'll have to try it out. I think I just never used it because it was free. Another one I've been using a lot lately is Raindrops from Spellbinders. So when they came out with the Showered with Love collection, I'm pretty sure this is part of that. And actually, I might have. I'm not sure if I have a partial card that I've completed. Usually, oh yeah, I do. Awesome. So I tried this a few different ways, but I will show you how I liked it the best. So I did try it on shimmer paper, which I thought, not bad. I think I also tried ink blending over the shimmer paper. Yeah, here on this one I tried ink blending over the shimmer paper a little bit. Then I tried, can't remember if this is I don't think this is Distress Oxide. I think this is No Diving or Midnight Snack from Simon Hurley on colored cardstock, or I guess it wasn't colored cardstock. You know what? I think this was also shimmer paper that I sprayed on to get more of a wet effect. But what I absolutely loved was this foil paper. Let me quickly find the name of this paper. It is a foiled, and I use mostly tonic or prism papers for my foiling. Oh yes, this is it. This is Tonic Studios Tidal Wave, which is a phenomenal colored paper or foiled paper. So this is the same one. You can just see the kind of rainbow effect it gets, but I just absolutely love this with the with that rain pattern on it. So Tonic Studios Mirror Card Tidal Wave comes in 5 packs of 92 pound, 8.5 by 11. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with these, and I think I even saw one of the ducks. Yeah. So I think this was a Spellbinder. I think it was from the same collection, Showered with Love. This duck here with a little umbrella that I did out of some, this is actually Cricut, True Brushed vinyl, or True Brush, yeah, I think it's vinyl. It's either True Brushed paper or True Brush vinyl. I just like the finer shimmer that it adds. And so yeah, I just love that little rain puddle duck. So yeah, the raindrops, by far, probably the one I've used most this year. I did a lot of spring cards, so that came in really, really handy. Leafy, again from Spellbinders. That one. Let's see here. Probably should have gotten this all prepared beforehand. There we go. So there's Leafy. That's this one here. Luscious Leaves is another one I really like, but on this really cheap Michael's, I don't know what brand it is. It's whatever they sell. It could be Recollections or it could be something else. It's got a craft backing, but I found this paper was so thin. This is a Gemini Crafter's Companion Luscious Leaves. It actually cut through some of these panels. So like this one here, I'm not sure if you can see, but this area here is just so deep that you see the craft coming through. So that's when I decided, you know what, I'm not going to be doing the cheap foiled paper. I'm going to go for the real stuff. Again, this I think is a Tonic Studios. It should be shinier than this. This is a mirror card. But one cool thing about the mirror card is if you spritz the card with water first, it will come out matte after going through. And this is one, I think it's discontinued. I actually may still be able to find some stock on this. But this We Are Memory Keepers gemstone, this was 2-pack. So it's a 6x6. I labeled it Gemstone 1 and Gemstone 2. I mainly bought it for this one because there was another embossing folder that I had that had very similar style, I guess. This kind of broken here. Let me find. Oh yeah, this is the one I was talking about. So I have one like this. Where is this one? Let me see. Yeah, no, this is the other one. So this is Gemstone, the one I've labeled Gemstone 2, which you can see I really like. This is Gemstone 1, which I absolutely love. This is again on that cheaper Michael's foiled cardstock. But this one here, I bought for this kind of effect, but I actually found I didn't like how pointy these were. The only time I use this background is with dimensionals or foam stickers because of how pointy those are. A lot of things don't stick well to this background, and I'll find out what this one is called here. So this is a Tim Holtz Sizzix Crackle. I love the look of it. I sometimes use it just as like a strip or as an entire card front with a single sentiment. But if you're trying to layer a scene with this, it's just got so much dimension that it is very hard to... Oh, I like the deboss side of that too. But it's very hard to have things stick to that properly, where this gives a similar look and feel, but it has more areas that the glue can attach to. So yeah, these Gemstone and Crackle, I love those abstract prints. So let me see if I have some of my other favorites in here. This is always a favorite. This was the only one I had that kind of did water-like effects. So this is called Gentle Waves, again from Crafter's Companion. This was the only one I had, but I kind of went and got a couple more just for variety. But I do find I can use this just as a card front. Again, it's abstract enough that it can be used kind of for anything, and I do like ones that do that. Now I have two wood grain ones. This one I primarily use again for like critters or for abstract, because again this could look almost like topography as well. Whereas when I'm wanting something a little more realistic, I tend to go to this one. So this is Lumber from Tim Holtz Alterations. It's a Sizzix one. And then this one, again, Spellbinders, I tend to pair it with Lawn Fawn quite a bit. This is called Knock on Wood. And I really like this more cartoony... I mean, this looks so unbelievably real when it's in person. It almost looks like a sheet of veneer or something. But I do really like this one here. And one of the cool things I like to do with... Actually, I'm going to grab my gray, Shadow Gray Archival ink. This is best done... Again, I'm just doing this here on camera because it's convenient. But if I were doing this actually for a card, I would probably grab... I'm just going to get some of this out of the way. I would probably grab a flat blending foam, like not the domed foam, but the flat ones, to do this, because that way you don't actually end up pushing down into the lower areas there. But you can go over and just, you can either swipe or like I said, use that flat blending brush so that you don't get into any of the nooks and crannies there, to add a little bit of effect here. So this is the Shadow Gray Archival ink. You can do this with brown, obviously, but I like to do this kind of thing once in a while with these really, really deep embossing folders. A lot of people like going over with white pigment ink. So there's lots of things you can do with, but like it's not just one and done. You can add a lot more variety to that as well. Let's see some of my other favorite embossing folders. I'm just going to put some of these back as we go. This is one that I specifically got for someone who is an amazing piano player. This is a Sizzix one. This is called Musical Notes. And I really like that it's kind of already on the skew. I don't think I would ever use it a music background straight, like the way a sheet music would show. This really just gives it an extra little good look. I don't know. So the head in the clouds, we have that one. Let's see, what else do I have here? And as you can, like I said, I tend to, if I'm taking out an embossing folder, I don't just do one panel. Here's another puff dotty one that I did on a larger size. So like I said, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's 8.5. So I can cut that down to 2 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you can actually do 2 if you use a full-size photo or a full-size piece of paper. If you use up a piece of paper the same size as the folder, you can actually get 2 A2 card fronts from one. This one is also, where is it? I'm pretty sure this is a Spellbinders, but I'm not, you know what? I have, I might not have it out. Sometimes any of the Christmas stuff, because I originally got into card making specifically for Christmas cards, because I don't like to send the same one out for every single one, every single person. I'm pretty sure this is a Spellbinders though, and it's probably in my, I actually have a box of Christmas stuff, and again, this was just shimmer paper from Michael's. You can see that this cracked quite a bit, but I didn't have a good quality foil or shimmer paper when I was making these Christmas cards, I think 2 years ago. But what I actually ended up doing was taking some Copic markers and just coloring that in, and I colored it a shade darker. So all the berries, not just the ones that cracked, even these larger ones here. And it looked really, really good. I was very happy with that. This is another rainy day one that also has clouds. And this is called Rain Clouds by Sizzix. So I had ordered this one before, I believe before the launch of the Showered with Love collection. And it was funny because when I got it, I was like, oh, I now have 2 rain ones, but it is very different with the clouds. So I've used this a couple times, but I really like the one with just the raindrops. This is a newer one. I got this to go with my Seahorse Kisses stamp and foil set. So this is called Castaway by Spellbinders. I've really liked using this one. It's great for, you can make it a masculine card or a more feminine card out of it, so I've got quite a few. But yeah, so back to the embossing folders. Just gonna get all this out, and yes, I do highly recommend, if you've got an embossing folder, you're obviously going to be using it more than once. Do a couple at the same time, different colors. That way, whenever you need a card quickly, and you're in a hurry, you've got something to go on. You can see this box is just packed full of embossing folders and blank backgrounds. So yeah, this is the way I've been labeling, just in the corner with my label maker. But I'll show you. So knock on wood, dimensional diamonds. This is another one I've been using quite a bit lately. You can see all the paper fibers on it. Orange peel quilt. I actually have not used this one yet, or I think I used it once. I must have used it once because it's out of the packaging. But this one was one I had a lot of plans for. I saw a lot of people using a similar pattern, doing white on white cards. So they did a white background with this, and then like a white frame, and then a very pale center. The party spots, again, I like those simple dots, circles. I do really, really like this one. I thought I might have used them all, but I did have some extras. Again, if I've got them made, I don't always pull this out and make new ones. But yeah, this one, it's a lot flatter than the other ones. Like, it's not as dimensional, but it makes a great background. These beautiful butterflies. Let me find a card that I made with those with a foil paper. It's May. I had already done a bunch of Mother's Day stuff. Oh, there's one of the simple party spots one. So that's this one here. Party spots. Again, very flat, so great for just sticking a sentiment on. Here's this beautiful butterflies from Spellbinders. Absolutely love it. Very dimensional. This is a blank card front that I have here that I haven't put anything else on. And the one, so funny story. I bought, where is it? It was one of the first ones I brought out here. I bought a Gemini folder. Sorry, let me just find it here. Let me set these off to the side. These are all going to fall. Daisy Meadow, Nature's Garden by Crafter's Companion. I had bought this with no plan in mind. I just thought, oh, that could be nice for a spring or summer card. And I ended up doing this in yellow paper. Hated it. So I tried, oh, and this one's weird because it's actually, the logo is on the back. So this is actually the front. This is the, where you'd set your paper and close it. But I tried it in yellow paper. I tried it in orange paper. I tried it in all sorts of papers, and I just did not like the colors. And it's probably more the colors. Nothing to do with the pattern. I just tried ink blending the center of the sunflower into, or daisy, I guess, into black. So I tried it in all sorts of colors. I tried it in white. Didn't like it in white. And again, I now realize this is a daisy, not a sunflower. But I just started Googling sunflower embossing folder ideas. And I came across, after a while, I came across a video from Christina Werner, and where she did this card out of blue paper, used white pigment ink in the centers, and absolutely loved it. And it was so funny because I basically had everything that I needed to make that card, including the gold embossing powder and the distress dauber. So I ended up making a few of these. I absolutely love this. She is an amazing card maker. But so this is, I just took a faux woven paper here, put it through, ink blended with the unicorn pigment ink, the center there, and then took my distress dauber and then just dipped it in embossing, gold embossing powder, melted it, and I'm going to link to that video because this is probably quickest card I've ever made, because literally run it through your embossing folder, little bit of ink on the center, and then emboss the edges. This is probably the quickest card I've ever made, and I have to say it's one of my favorites. I will, again, post that link to Christina Werner's original video. beautiful. And I just matted it with another piece of that same cardstock below, just because I didn't like the gold going right to the edge. I did do one like that, and I don't know. It was missing something, and I think just having that blue mat around the corner finishes it so nicely. So she is. I loved that I came across that video of hers. And all of these embossing folders are different thicknesses. So this romantic one, it's hearts from Sizzix, very, very thick. Whereas here's a Gemini one that's super thin. So you do have to figure out your sandwiches. I have a little chart that I've made for what sandwich to use with what one, but a lot of times if I'm not sure, I stick it on my plates, push it part of the way through. If it jams, I try and crank it. If it doesn't want to crank, I roll it back out and take something off. So not too hard to figure out. I think that's it for now.